Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Tuesday morning. It's Stephen Whiteside here from the uptrend.com. In the pre-market this morning, things are fairly quiet out there. Stock index futures are slightly above fair value. Commodities are seeing a little pullback. Gold is still trading above 5,000 on Tuesday morning, and we're seeing a little pullback in Bitcoin, currently trading around 68,000 and change in the pre-market. Now, gold's still holding above the $5,000 level. It hasn't given us enough to generate a daily buy signal just yet. We're stuck to the $5,000 level. If we could break away from it, then $5,312.50 is our next target to the upside. Now, platinum and silver have not come back as quickly as the price of gold. You can see for platinum, we hit a new low on Friday. That's also true for the price of silver. We're trying to get silver up over 87.50. If we could do that, then $100 could come into play. Now, looking at the gold miners, the GDX in New York is back on a buy signal as of Monday's close, unlike the TSX Global Gold ETF, which is just sitting right on the edge of a new daily buy signal. The most actively traded gold stock in Toronto was Barrick, followed by B2 Gold, which is back on a buy signal. In New York, it was the opposite way around. B2 Gold was the most actively traded gold stock, followed by Barrick. So no change in trend for the big one, but the little one is back on a buy signal. Now, looking at the silver miners, they traded up to the upper channel line yesterday, but did not close above it. And then wheat and precious metals traded back into the channel, still looking for a close above $194.78 on Tuesday to give us a buy signal. Looking at the energy sector, crude oil is still on a buy signal here. You can see the pros took control right at the start of the year, and they are still in control. Looking at the weekly chart, you can see our next price target here is 65.63. That's held us in check for the past 2 weeks, and then coming into this week, we have not been able to run up to that level just yet. And so that's acting as resistance. And if we go back here, you can see 68.75 is our next major target on the weekly chart. And that's two lines up from 65.63 on the daily chart. So those are our next price targets if we can take out the recent high. Now, natural gas isn't going in the right direction. It was down yesterday, holding the 313 level. There's still possibility of some psychological support at $3, but 273 would be our next target to the downside. Now, Canadian energy stocks were up yesterday, up just a tick over 1/3%, so no major change there. Still trying to break away from the 2188. So here's a weekly chart from last Friday. And as you can see, we're still trading just above the 2188. Haven't really broken away from it just yet. 2266 is our next target to the upside. In New York, U.S. energy stocks were up just under 0.75%, making a new high for this move. Looking at the weekly chart, you can see our next target is 54.69. And on the daily chart, that is also our next target. So we were looking at psychological resistance at $50. It's a big round number. Then once we broke through that, we've moved two lines up. And now we're looking to see if we can continue to move higher from here. Now, what's working? Well, in Toronto, the most actively traded energy stock was Suncor. Again, the pros took control right at the start of the year. And then in New York, the most actively traded energy-related stock was Transocean. Similar situation, pros took control first week of January, and the stock has been moving up ever since. Looking at the VIX of the Fear Index, it came down hard yesterday. Not back on a sell signal just yet, unlike the ETFs, which are both back on sell signals in New York and Toronto. Now, I'm going to hold on to mine right now. I don't see a lot of downside for the VIX at the moment. I think we won't be able to go too much lower here, but we'll just wait and see. We'll hold on for a few days and see if the VIX just starts to trend lower or if it holds here. I think it's going to hold here for the time being. Now, looking at the Dow 50,000, we did close above it yesterday. We are trying to break away from the 50,000 level. We were only up 20 points yesterday, and given the fact that we're up at 50,000, 20 points really doesn't show up much on a chart. So looking to see if we can head higher from here. Then also watching the transport, seeing if they can break out above 20,000. Looking at the S&P 500, we're back on a buy signal as of Monday's close. Still haven't dealt with the recent high or the 7,000 level just yet. You can see that we did close just above the 69.53 level, but there's a lot of resistance up here. We'll have to see if we can punch through it or not. Then looking at the NASDAQ 100, no joy for the NASDAQ just yet. Now, looking at the Canadian market, we have the iShares for the TSX 60 and the Vanguard Canada ETF, both back on buy signals. That had a lot to do with financials, and that, of course, had a lot to do with banks up over 1% yesterday, making a new high for the banking sector. Now, what worked on Monday? Well, in Toronto, it was Franco-Nevada on the TSX 60, followed by Agnico Eagle, and then Cameco. Those were the big winners on the TSX 60. For the TSX Composite, it was IM Gold, followed by Orla Mining, followed by Alamos Gold. Those were the big winners on the TSX Composite. Now, on the Dow, it was Microsoft was the big winner, still on a sell signal, no change there, followed by NVIDIA. NVIDIA is certainly back on a buy signal. We're looking to see if we can take out those recent highs. Then we've got Cisco, so hardware certainly outpacing software at the moment. Then looking at NASDAQ 100, we had AppLovin move back up into the channel on Monday. Then we had Shopify was big winner on the NASDAQ 100. Certainly nowhere near a buy signal coming into Tuesday's trading action. And then Palantir moving up to the lower channel line on Monday. Last up, the winners on the S&P 500, AppLovin traded up into the channel. We had Oracle trade up into the channel. And then once again, hardware outpacing software right now. There's Corning making a new high on Monday. Okay, folks, that's all for this morning's presentation. So far, it looks like we're going to have a fairly quiet open on Tuesday morning. Have a great day. Next time you'll hear my voice is on Wednesday morning.
Thanks for tuning in until the very end of today's stock market timing educational video. If you found the content valuable, don't forget to express your support by hitting the like button, leave a comment, sharing with your friends, and subscribing to our channel for more insightful updates. Remember, in the world of stocks, timing is crucial, and following the trend can be your greatest ally. If you would like more information on how we can help you better time the stock market, please visit theyuptrend.com.